So let me tell you a quick story here. Jeffrey has been wanting to make a new game for some time now. For the past few weeks he's been thinking about himself as a well-known Roblox developer, with people following him whenever he joins a game, as he saw this happen to one of his friends. But how do I do it? Jeffrey asked himself. He decides to open TikTok for some inspiration.
Tātad pirmais jautājums, kura ir ASV galvaspilsēta?
But before he could even search up for inspiration for his new game, the algorithm steals his attention from the first video and he forgets to even search after watching it. After 2 whole hours, Jeffrey is still scrolling. He even forgot he even had a game to make. Adonis. A brilliant game idea came up to him as he was going about his day, and immediately he started noting down his ideas. After a week had gone by, his game was fully planned and all he had to do was get to work. So he gets on his computer early in the morning, turns off his phone the evening before, and starts making his dreams come true. Soon enough, his game takes off and even gives him the ability to monetize his game. Do you feel like your attitude to making games is similar to Jeffrey? If you do, then I will show you how to escape from the grasp of the TikTok algorithm, so you can finally make your imaginations become reality. So first off, you have to understand why exactly is it bad. Like, you've heard of these people say, oh yeah, delete TikTok, Instagram, they're just poisoning your mind. But they don't actually tell you why exactly that is. Like, a lot of it is just that they're NPCs and listening to the majority's opinion or the minority's, I don't know actually. There are a few reasons why it's bad exactly. Like, the most obvious one is you just waste so much time scrolling, like 2 hours a day. Do you know how much shit you could do in that time? How much would you make of the build that you're building right now, or the game that you're scripting? Like, that's loads of time that you could be using to work on development, instead of just mindlessly scrolling on apps like Instagram and TikTok. Moving further down the rabbit hole, you see how short these videos are. They're like a few seconds, like up to 30 or something, I don't know. Like, have you noticed how people that often use these apps, how long do they stay on one post or scrolling down to the next one? Literally like 0.0 seconds. I don't even know, like, I'm not exaggerating, they just keep on fucking scrolling. Like, how sad is that? Just think about it. How fucking sad is that? That you just continue scrolling like a mindless NPC without even thinking about what the post is, because it's just not so interesting, quote unquote. The main point I wanted to say here is that it just lowers your attention span, because all of these people that are just scrolling and scrolling without even thinking about what they're seeing, they've just done it so much that they're become numb to what they're seeing. That's why they just want more of it, and they keep on scrolling and scrolling. But why exactly is it bad to have a bad attention span? Oh god, I have to actually explain this. Okay, well, let's say you're reading a book and your mind literally, after reading like a paragraph or even less, your mind literally starts thinking about some other shit. Like, how fucked is that? You literally can't focus on one thing at a time, and you have to just reread the whole paragraph to understand what's actually going on in there. Like, I'm gonna be honest, it happens to me too sometimes, but like, if it's so often that it's literally like every paragraph, then that's a serious problem. Like, not even talking about being AFK while talking to other people. Like, you're talking to your friend or something, he's telling you something, he's telling you how he's doing, and you're just in your mind thinking about something else. Like, he can't tell that you're not listening, and that's not a good feeling to have. It just signals that you don't care. Like, even though you might care actually, the other person might not think so, because it just looks like you don't. The next thing is, have you heard the quote, "You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with"? Well, it applies also to the content you're consuming. If you're watching complete brain-dead content all the time from all these YouTubers, Instagram models, I don't know, TikTok influencers, like, you're becoming like them. Like, you might not even notice it, but you literally start acting like them. And if they're brain-dead, then, well, you're becoming brain-dead too. Like, you might object this and say, "Oh no, that's not true. I still am a normal person." Well, buddy, you're still scrolling on TikTok for like 2 hours straight and not doing anything productive. Would you really consider yourself a normal person? Okay, well, I mean, it's kind of normal, but not in a good way that you shouldn't strive for. Like, of course, you could be using TikTok and all these other platforms actually productively, watching stuff that actually improves your life. But chances are, if you're watching this video, that's not the case. So just stop coping and saying that TikTok is actually good if you're still on that side of the spectrum. And just analyze yourself a bit more. Have more self-awareness. So how do you actually stop? Well, there's no exact formula that you can use because it's different for different people, but I'm gonna say what worked for me. I haven't really used TikTok at all, but I've used Instagram before. It's kind of like same shit, different smell type of thing. But what changed everything for me is I just started having a negative attitude towards this type of stuff, which in turn just condemning being on the app for longer than a few seconds and just thinking that this is just disgusting and doesn't help my life at all. Also, you know how like all these tech companies have engineered their products to be as addictive as possible, like having exact type of color, the exact shade of it, to hook you in as much as possible. For example, the notification circles on the app icons, like, they're red for a reason, because they know that humans like it, and that's a large reason why you're opening the apps. So what you can do to battle this and potentially use phone less is simply enable grayscale. Like, you can Google it. You can find out how to do it on Google, but essentially what it is, it just makes your phone black and white, so you don't see any colors, which in turn leads to you not wanting to click on the apps. I think you should really watch this video right here, so if you want to know more, just go and watch it. Also, join my Discord server, because we have a bunch of cool people there that will help you on development, and you can ask stuff about self-improvement.